Total physical response is a method of teaching language or vocabulary concepts by using physical movements to react to verbal input. The process mimics the way that infants learn their first language, and it reduces students' inhibitions and lowers stress. Total physical response, or TPR, was created by American psychologist Dr. James Asher and is based on the experience of how humans learn their first language. When children learn their mother tongue, their parents and carriers are very visibly involved in imparting language.
What are advantages of total physical response? It is fun. It's easy to implement. It is reduced pressure and stress for students. It's good for kinesthetic who needs to be active in the class. It can be used in large and small classes. Students enjoying moving around the classroom, not preparing block hours before the lessons. Effective for both adult and young learners. And these advantages of total physical response most useful for beginners. Repetition becomes an issue for teachers at higher levels. Students are not generally given the opportunity to express their own thoughts in as creative manner. Challenging for shy students. Rude in an opportunate language of the learners.
When does total physical response works well? When teaching vocabulary, particular verbs, difficult to explain actions. Think wiggle, slide lines, storytelling and narrative language, imperatives and classroom language. There is some characteristics of total physical response. Focusing on meaning and comprehension sits in the semicircle, great deal of listening and acting, directing a performance in which the students are actors. Verbal response is not necessary. Honor is easy to introduce. Teacher always uses the target language, overcoming the fear of speaking. The review. Teacher gives a summary of the lessons. Teacher repeats the various items that were learned in the previous lessons.
How can I use it in class? There are two different kinds of TBR that you will use in the classroom. The first is instructional. Instructional TBR is what you use to give commands, is the way you convey what you want the students to do. TBR can vary from teacher to teacher. You can choose what motions you want to use to convey a particular meaning, but instructional TBR has a lot of commonly used motions that I'm going to show you a few examples. When I want the students to pay particular attention to what I'm saying, I point to my mouth and say the word to the students. And when I'm waiting for them to repeat, I cut my hand to my ear to listen to the students repeat. If I'm getting ready to model something to a student that they know how to do it, I might say, watch me, and do the action with my hand, and for look and see like the picture below. It doesn't really matter which action you use, but do make sure that you are consistent on one action for the same word, and do not keep changing the action that you are using for the same word. And now the second type of TBR is educational. Educational TBR is how you teach a new content, the new vocabulary words, maybe even sentences. You use actions to show the new words that are learning. So we will use the word cat, for example. You can do ears cat with your hands, or cat whiskers like the picture you watch on, to make it easy on the students to learn and encourage the students to do the action back with you. Where possible, use props to enhance your teaching. For example, use dolls to learn the parts of the body.
And how about these?
Eyes.
And this one?
Nose.
And this?
Mouth.
What are these?
Ears.
And this one?
Neck. Arm.
And this?
Hand.
This.
Leg.
And how about these?
Feet.
Excellent. Good job. Milad, can you find her? Good job. Thank you. Muhammad, can you find her nose? Nose. Amazing. Good job. Aqil, can you find her eyes? Well done. Thank you. This one. Milad, how about her ear? Where's her ear? Her ear. Her ear. Where's her ear? Where's
Okay, I don't want to do a lot of things. Okay, I want to ask you about part of your face. What's this? What is this? And this one? Oh, good. Okay, what is this?
It's funny how some distance
Get your